Ohio State held them. They finally had a punt return for a touchdown. And I don't think we've seen a punt return for a touchdown since Jalen Marshall back in the 2014 season against Indiana. And so we finally get a great play on special teams, and we get 2 penalties. We get one, there's a block in the back, and then obviously the real killer is the leaping that they're trying to get out of college football and all of football just as a player safety thing. So you can handle the block in the back on the punt. Okay, we take it back, but we're going to keep the ball. But the leaping is a pre-kick penalty, which then gives Arkansas State the football back, which they're able to take down and end up getting a field goal out of it.
Man, I'm telling you, just looking at my notes, the number one thing I highlighted was penalties. Oh, I mean, it's just an issue. It's been an issue for a while now, even back to Urban Meyer. But the penalties have to get cleaned up. I mean, I think was that Taraja Mitchell that leaped? I couldn't see the number.
It was Taraja Mitchell, yes.
These are things that they know. Like, this is not some, oh, man, I didn't know that rule. Like, they know this. So that was just a lapse in judgment in that moment. It wasn't even a critical. I can see if it was a critical moment of the game where you just had to risk it because we needed that. It just was so unnecessary. So the penalties have been unfortunately a fixture with this team, and it showed up again today. And that's luckily they only got 12 points. Our defense is much better now, but last year they would have had 27 points, 31 points. So absolutely. These penalties are like one of the number one things I'm frustrated with today's game and just the team in general.
Yeah, I believe it was 9 for 85 yards on penalties, and the one PI was not accepted because of the catch was made on the sideline. But you're exactly right. And as the season progresses and you get into bigger games, now you're talking about Wisconsin down the road here in a couple of weeks. You're on the road at Penn State, and then obviously the last game of the year, it has to be cleaned up. And I'm sure Ryan Day is very frustrated about it, and he knows. Last week it was DeJuan Jones, and I stated last week about the pre-snap penalties. You're a preseason All-American. You can't have 3 false start penalties in a game of that magnitude, okay? Because it just puts yourself behind the sticks, especially when your offense is struggling. Yeah. So you can't have those pre-snap penalties. And at least it was cleaned up a little bit today on the pre-snap stuff, but it was some of the other things like that. The PIs, the leaping, like you said, that's stuff that you should know about. You can't rough the center on a punt or on an extra point. You can't leap over the top of a pile now. It's just those things you should know. And who knows if he went rogue on that or what. But in a bigger game, that's what we can't have as far as penalties costing us big time like that.
Yeah, it seemed like today we traded in the pre-snap offensive false start penalties for offsides.
Right. Oh, yes.
That was the story today. You had Sawyer, Tyleek,
Zach Harrison.
Yes. I mean, it's just like it's just focus and discipline. And I believe these kids have it in them. But these coaches, and listen, I'm not saying we lost the championship today, but these are the things, like Bob said, that need to be checked now before they rear their ugly heads down the line when it's more critical. And so the coaches, I'm sure they're all over it. Ryan Day mentioned it in his post-game press interview. So they're on it. The question is, I guess, what can be done to get them to clean this up, because it starts here.
Absolutely. No doubt. It's between the head. It's exactly right, or between the ears. No doubt about it.